Hello friends, as we know there are two different methods for automatic case creation into Salesforce, and those two methods are web to case scenario. Another is case creation using REST API. So we are going to talk about the first scenario, which is web to case scenario, which is provided by Salesforce itself. It is an standard automated process. We do not have to do any customization, or we do not have to write any piece of code for this in Salesforce. It is enabled by default in Service Cloud. So let us see how it works. For that we have to log in into Salesforce and go into web to case module in setup. So we'll just search for web to case in quick find box, and we are going to click on web to case HTML generator. So what we can see here is that it provides you with two sections. One is list of available fields and other is selected field. So what this functionality does, it whichever field we want to select, and after that if we click on generate button, it will create a HTML code for us, which we can then publish on any website, or give it to any website owner who can then create a HTML page using that HTML code and put it on their website. And whenever somebody fill up that form, a case will automatically be created into Salesforce. So let's see how it works. So for instance, we can see that left side of pick list has of all available fields, and right side of pick list has a field which we have selected, which we want to be exposed on the form. If we want, we can move, add any other field, also we can move any more field also. We do not want, we can remove that also. So let me remove this case region. We are going to use these 5 fields only for our purpose. We do not need this checkbox right now, so we can remove visible in self-service portal checkbox. We can remove reCAPTCHA related checkbox as well, post which we'll click on generate button. So as you can see, Salesforce automatically generates a HTML code for our purpose. We can copy this whole code and let us have it over here. Save it as an HTML page. Let me save it in a folder which I have created earlier. Let me call it web to case HTML. Okay, so now let us see what all details are available in this page. It gives you a form which an action URL, and it gives you all the fields which we have selected in our pick list, which we wanted to be included in our form. And apart from that, it also gives us few HTML tags in commented form. These tags can be used if we want to debug our process, if we want to see if the case getting created successfully or not, or if it has encountered any error. So let us put those section over here. Let us also put this second section, so that when our case is created or it encounters any error, we receive an email automatically from Salesforce. Alright, so here it is done. So now let us see it in action. Before we move it forward, if you notice here, there is a input tag called org ID. This org ID is nothing but the organization ID of our Salesforce application which we are using. That org ID, if we want to change it, or if this tag is not available automatically, we can go to setup and company information, and then on the right side we can see our organization ID. So when we generate an HTML code, Salesforce automatically picks up this organization ID and put it in our HTML code. Now one more thing we need to see, that when we use this code for case creation, we should also know who the case will be assigned to and how the case will be created and tagged into Salesforce application. So just to verify that, in quick find we'll type support and then we'll select support setting. So you can notice a field called automated case user. This is a user who will be owner of the case created using web to case form. If we want to change it, we can click on this edit button and we can just change the owner, default owner of the case created from web to case form. We can select any of the case owner. I'll not change it right now. I'll let it be whatever was there earlier. Another setting is that once case is created, a mail should go to customer saying the case has been created. So what template it should receive, that we can define using, we have to go to web to case in our setup page. We will have this web to case setting options available to us. We can enable or disable web to case functionality. We can set up default case origin for all the cases created from HTML or any website. If I select email, so any case which will be created using this code and using this URL will have case origin as defaulted to email. But right now I'll change it to web. Default response template is an email template which will be used while sending an email confirmation on case creation through web to case module. We can change it or we can have our custom email template also. And we can also mention email signature. If we want to have any our company specific email signature, we can put it here, that as well. Okay, so now we have this form. So what we are going to do is that we are going to open that page. So this was the page which I created and saved, web to case HTML. I'll open it in Chrome. Okay, so you can see that this UI is pretty basic UI. There is no alignment or no coloring, anything is there. So let us try to make some minor changes into this form using the functionality intact. You keeping the functionality intact and using some style attributes. Okay. All right. So I have already created a page with some style element. Okay, so this is new case HTML page. So if you, okay, so I provided style attributes to this page apart from some div tag, also color, custom classes. So if you will focus on our basic functionality, if you compare the original form, original HTML code which we have received from Salesforce, if you let us just compare it, if everything is there in it, this form or not. Okay, so that form is there, the form action is the same which we had received from Salesforce. Now it is org ID and return URL. So we have org ID over here, return URL I do not want it, so I removed it. Return URL is not important at this moment. I have also enabled or used that debug specific tag and given my email address where I will receive any debug specific information. Rest fields are name, email, phone number. Name, email, phone number. Everything is same except they have been put into div tag, and I have introduced a drop down value in subject field so that I can easily classify my cases. Okay, so now let me open this new HTML instead of the web to case HTML. Let me open it. Okay, so this will be our the form which we are going to put into website for customer to submit the cases. Let's see, I submit my name, John Neil, email address, I'll put my email address, phone number 2345678 9. I provide an option to select subject, so let me select complaint. Now I'll put some description of complaint. Okay, so now I'll submit this. Let's see what happens. If I submit it, another page comes which says your request has been queued. It provides a recorded information. It it shows everything which we have put into the form. Now if I go into my Salesforce application and I go to my case screen, and then let's see, if I go to all open cases, I'll see a new case created, case number, case owner is default which we have set into our web to case setting, web email, the email address which provided there, all information we provide there will come into web specific field. For instance, email which I have entered will come into web email, name will come into web name, and the phone will come into web phone field, and subject is complaint. We have selected complaint over there, and the description. Okay, so now this case is created. But one more thing which we need to see is that this case is not associated to any existing contact. Why so? Because whenever this form is used to create a case, Salesforce behind the scene checks if there is any unique contact with this email address or if there are multiple contacts with this email address. So if I provided this email address, if I search into my application, if I see how many contacts are there with this email address, let me go for all contact. I can see there are multiple contacts there with this email address. That is the reason Salesforce could not find a single unique contact having this email address. Hence, it did not associate that case with any particular contact or account. Let us see that contact case once again. In this case, we can see web name, web email, web phone is populated, but contact name and account name is not populated because it could not find any unique contact to associate with the case. Now, let us see if we find any unique contact. Let me see if this email address is unique or not. Let me go for all contact. Query for the list. Okay, so I can see there is only one contact with this email address. So let me try creating a case with this email address. Let me put email address as this one, Rose Gonzalez. I'll keep everything else as same. I'll just change type of subject as inquiry. Web2 case, description I'll change unique, contact demo. Okay, now let me submit it. Okay, now I submitted it. I got the confirmation saying the detail is submitted. Now let me go and see. So now there are two ways I can verify if case is created or not. Let me go to this contact screen first because I want to see if the case is created for this contact or not, which I provided. So I'll click on this contact name and I will verify. Okay, the related contact list. All right. So this is the case which got created just now. I can see that case is associated. Now we can see a contact name is populated, contact phone is populated, contact account is populated, and the description is web2 case unique contact demo. All right. So with this, we have come to end of this session where we have seen how we can use web2 case HTML which is generated by Salesforce to be used on any website for automated case creation. We just need to remember one thing, that if we use this approach, because in our code we are given a pre-populated URL and we are giving organization ID, so it gives an access to our application or an access to case creation without any authentication. What it means is it provides unauthorized access to everyone who has access to this page for case creation or for pushing any data. So as long as this endpoint URL is being used and org is used, this page can be modified or any data can be pushed into Salesforce. So this approach is usually used wherein we want a case creation channel for our walk-in customer or walk-in any user who is not actually our customer but who wants to submit any inquiry or a query to our company, so that even if he is not a user or a registered user, he can still go ahead and submit the case. But this method does not have any authentication or it does not have any security related checks and balances in place. So it may pose a security issue if we go ahead and implement it. So for that, to circumvent that issue, there is one more approach which most of our companies are using, that is case creation using REST API. So REST API provides an authentication based access to your application using which a customer can submit his or her inquiry our cases to Salesforce. Then there is one more approach wherein we can utilize Visual Force based site to provide our Visual Force to provide or to expose our Visual Force pages on various browser that also provides an unauthorized access for case creation, but because it involves Visual Force, so basic security specific aspects are enabled in that. So it will to an extent stop accepting malformed data, or it will allow and because if you are using Visual Force, so you are writing a custom controller. Okay, and you can expose that Visual Force to any public website also. So because of this Visual Force based security which comes with Salesforce uh, as a inbuilt security function, and because we are going to write custom controller to handle those page or input, we have much more control compared to Web2 case automated case creation scenario. So I hope you have liked this session and this demonstration of Web2 case scenario. So if there is any suggestion regarding this video or regarding the quality of video, please do mention in the comment section. If you want me to cover any more scenario, then also please do let me know in comment section. And if you learned something with this video, then I request you to please like the video and share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in our next session. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe.